Welcome to the Scandal Podcast. I am your hostess, Jaha Knight, and I am joined with my fellow hosts, Katrina Pavela and Langston Smith. Please introduce yourselves to the audience.
Oh, I'm.
Hello.
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
you go ahead. All right, ladies first.
Right.
I am Katrina Pavela. I blog over at Katrina Pavela, so creative of me.tumblr.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at number one feeling.
And I am Langston Smith, and you can find me at Langston Smith on Twitter, and also at Black Alphabet on Twitter as well. And I'm excited to be back for this special episode of the Scandals podcast. See, luckily you can't see me other than my picture, because I'm getting all tongue twisted.
Well, we are here. We're going to talk about the Harrison, some of the other scandal news, and all that good stuff. I kind of figured that you all would start off with your favorite Harrison moments because you already know I don't have any. So,
Oh, the shade starts right at
It's
the
all
top.
right. Shady from the beginning.
Yo, but guess what? This podcast is gonna be the most Harrison has been featured in anything. So
I
Right.
know,
Giving
even
him-
Stomp the Yard.
Oh, she's just ripping into him already.
now she's going personal with Columbus. Like,
I know.
Harrison.
It's no longer about Harrison. She's just going
Right.
for Columbus altogether.
I've been
Right.
telling y'all for an entire season that I didn't see it for Harrison. I've been saying, look, this dude is okay. He's had a half of a line and a giggle on the side of the corner of the room, and he's just getting paid.
That's
I can
not
do
always true.
No, but you know what? To be quite honest, I reviewed the first and second seasons over our little break and everything, and honestly, he was featured a little bit more than you would think
Yeah.
in the first season. Even though Steven was really Olivia's confidant and knew all what was going on and everything, but after Steven left, like most of season 2, he was actually, up there, and he was like he was the confidant, and he was her advisor.
Well, he was vying for that position a lot in
Mhm.
at least the first half of season 2. I felt like
Right.
when Steven left, because they left Steven's office empty, right? And Harrison was trying to prove to Olivia that he was worthy of being her number 2, which is what Steven was. Big office
Right.
talk, baby, and all that stuff, which is
Right.
how he got himself into that shit with Abby and betraying her by with David, by paying
Right.
off David's ex to say that David abused her and just messing up that whole relationship. And then when Abby found out, like, that was his big storyline for that season. And then the second half, he was featured, and I really liked his relationship with Olivia. And I'm just kind of mad that I'm not going to find out how they
met.
how they became so loyal, how he became so loyal to her and her to him as well.
I don't know, though, that Shonda Rhimes probably taped all them dang on episodes before Harrison was let go. And we're going to see them all in a flashback that was left on the cutting room floor or something. But do y'all honestly think that he's gone? I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
it could be a publicity stunt, but I think that it's like they're cutting their losses now because seriously, he's up on federal charges and he could very well go to jail.
Shonda don't play that.
We talked about this before, though, that
Not gonna be on that show.
Oh, we talked about this before with Harris. Well, with Columbus Short, he was the only one to not actually have to audition for this role.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not sure. I kind of feel like with him going, because he was a hot mess on the Tom Jones Morning Show, but I kind of feel like he did that, but I don't necessarily know if it's true because Shonda never tells us, in advance anything. So that's why I'm kind of surprised by that, by the whole him announcing it and all that
But
stuff.
yeah, if there was a statement, you remember this is not the
Wait,
first
wait.
time, unfortunately,
Oh, there we go.
that this has happened with one of her actors,
Oh, yeah, that
and
is
I'm
true.
sad that
Right.
it's a black actor. Again, you remember the whole thing with what's his face?
Isaiah Thomas
Isaiah.
Washington.
I was gonna say Elijah. Isaiah Washington with Grey's Anatomy and that whole mess, and he was done. I mean, he's back on the show for this last season, I see, but after a very long time. And so if they announce it like that and they tried to make it look like, oh, he's leaving the show, but basically he was fired for this fuck shit that has been going on in his personal life and playing out in a very public way. And it's distracting to the show. I cannot imagine that they would release that statement and then be like, psych, here's Harrison.
Right.
Like, guys.
Right.
They could put him in hiatus for a while and bring him back out. I mean, that's been known to happen, not necessarily on any of Shonda's shows. Well, yeah, on Grey's.
Well, they could do anything. They don't have to kill him, right? So this is
Yeah.
what I'm really interested in, like when the show comes back.
And how they're going to spin it.
How they're gonna spin it, because I just felt like Harrison's not gonna die, even though he was the character that knew too much at the end of the season. He had too much information, both on Adnan and Maya and their financials and what they were gonna do, as well as figuring out Daddy Pope and all of his chess moves. But I still feel like they're not going to kill him. Like, they're going to give some other kind of explanation as to what happened to him. And we have to factor in, we don't know if they're going to do a time jump and how far into the future that time jump is going to be. So they could explain, like, literally anything about Harrison, which leaves room for some kind of possibility in there.
If you are now just joining us on the Scandal Podcast, you can actually click the Q&A app on the screen and chat back with us if you have any thoughts to chime in on this episode, or you can tweet me at Scandal Podcast. And today we are going to tell Langston to stop making all this noise in this audio feed because he has typed a million words, and on top of the million words he has typed, he has also had his phone go off, and we heard Rick James singing in the background, or whoever that was. So, yeah.
Well, I can't help it if I have a cough, but anyway.
Well, you need to mute yourself. It's like, okay, all right. So, what were you going to say, Langston, about Harrison? Because you had something to say.
Oh, just that I just don't. I don't see him coming back. Unfortunately,
Like, he's gone.
He's gone. I mean, they pretty much put it out there because I had a whole rescue scenario played out for him before the announcement came out that he was leaving the show, because I was like, my whole rescue scenario was that he actually was smart enough to take Huck with him, and possibly even Quinn. So that way when Tom came out, Huck was already there waiting and would take Tom out. Because Tom, even though Tom has been an integral part of the show, he's also expendable. So because he's not.
Huck would have been the person to help Harrison. Quinn probably would have let him get shot. Like, I don't think.
Right, but I'm just saying.
But Huck couldn't have been there. Huck was at OPA with Abby when Olivia got there and was like, "Oh, I'm leaving."
No.
And
Huck was going to his family.
No.
But Harrison
remember,
was gone by that. They didn't know what Harrison was. So
remember they were all It was Abby, Quinn, and
Quinn wasn't there.
That's right. Abby, so it was just Abby and Huck. So then Harrison shows up and he's like, "Where's Liv?" And they're like, "She's gone." That's when he went to go. That's when he went to go see Pops.
That's probably when he also knew that he was fired.
That's true.
Right. So he went to go. So that would have been the time.
Is that the same day Huck went to go, or maybe that was
after that
day
was the
Olivia
last
was
thing,
leaving?
I think.
No, but Olivia was leaving that same day.
Right, but she was
on the plane. So all that happened that same day.
No, but he had already gone to see her. She talked him into going to see his family. We didn't see him go see his family till after the gun was right.
No, but what I'm saying what I'm saying is that all happened on the same day. Because remember,
Right. It happened.
and sorry, just because I'm just trying to clarify. Olivia comes to OPA and she says, I'm leaving, and they say when, and she said today. So the day she goes to OPA, hands in her keys and say bye y'all, it's also the same day she gets on the plane. And when she gets on the plane, we see Huck show up to the door of his family. So everything with Harrison, her saying bye to OPA and getting on the plane, all that happened in the same day. So I don't know how Huck could have gone. No. I mean, I guess he could have.
But I'm just saying that was my whole rescue fantasy situation. But because
that Huck was gonna rescue him.
But I'm just saying he had been at the office with them. They told him that Olivia left, and then he immediately went to go see Pops, right? So my thought pattern was that, hopefully he told Huck where he was going to be, blah, blah, blah. And just as they're about to shoot him, Huck, or even, like I said, even Quinn, because Quinn's now a trained killer as well. But, but alas, that won't be happening.
It wasn't to be.
Well, I'm not pressed because I didn't like his small suits anyway. So.
Oh, you love all that. You love that plaid.
I love Harrison mixing the plaid and occasionally the plaid and the polka dots, or the paisley, or the plaid and the Prince of Wales check. It's just so good.
And
a lot of purple.
Why didn't he have any Stomp the Yard scenage with his shirt off and that body from Stomp the Yardage? It seemed like he had just started to let himself go. Like
he was letting it go. What? I think
he was starting to let it go. Some point in season 2, I noticed I was.
Did you?
Getting a little.
Because I did. It was like the second half of season 2.
Because actually, you kind of really noticed it. Remember when they were just struggling and they were trying to get their next job? They couldn't get their next job, and they finally got that job, and he did that little dance. It was like, ooh.
Yeah, 3004.
He was a little chubby around the middle.
Well, them not getting a check didn't stop him from eating donuts. Cause
maybe he was depressed, okay, and he was eating really cheap.
Well, and
food.
And
usually when you get married, you happy, so you get fat. You're like, hey, I got my boo thing.
And it's also alcohol and drug induced, but
that's true. It makes you puffy too.
Yes, it does.
Drinking a lot.
So y'all think he's? Well, I don't want to put those rules.
That seemed to be the issue. I mean, who just goes around just snapping and beating folks up for
Solange.
Oops. You had to bring that up.
We're going there. Let me know.
I'm sorry.
What?
Oh, and you know what? Somebody put together something like a scandal type situation with Harrison and Solange as being the beat down artist. I never got a chance to read it. I just saw the headline. I was like, oh no.
I've been trying to hold back on that whole situation. Right. I was doing my rewatch today, and I came to a moment I froze, and I think it was 3/16, like the end of 3/16, and all of OPA are looking at the computer screen, and I wanted so badly to do a screenshot of that, and then put it with the video, so it looked like they were watching the video.
that would be so wrong.
But I was just like, no, I'm not going to perpetuate this violence. I can't.
You're not going to be in on it.
I can't do it. And to be truthful, I have not watched the video. I've seen screen grabs of it, but I just can't bring myself to watch the violence. I've not even watched the video of I think it's video or maybe it's audio of Columbus videotaping his wife beating the shit out of their friend and spitting on her. I just can't. I can't. Real life violence scares me.
Right. And then for us to even be watching it without the context is kind of crazy anyway.
Yeah.
Because as much as as much as we want to speculate, we really don't know what happened. And that's what everybody's doing. And even some of the radio stations and even some TV stations and blogs and all of that stuff are reporting what they know as fact, and it's not necessarily the case.
No, they're just speculating
But of course, I appreciate the statements they put out that just basically say, you know what, let it go. We're never gonna tell you what really happened, so just let it go.
Well, not only that, this video came out like a week after the shit happened, so they probably squashed it. You move past it, and I mean that's just stuff like that happens in families, and we don't know what it is. And there's been a lot of speculation as to what, but we won't know. We won't.
And it just so happens they happen to be famous. So because Lord knows how many other people have had fights on that.
Oh yeah.
How many other people have had fights on that elevator? But back to Harrison.
No, let's give him his due. Let's not shortchange him, y'all.
Right. But I, in reviewing,
don't shortchange him. Was that a short joke?
Oh no! Columbus short.
You are really going there today.
You should be the resident hater.
I am sitting in the seat, and it's.
But lovely. I mean, like I said, I gave you your due on Twitter because you did call it. You said he ain't long for this world, and we all kept saying, leave Harrison alone. I don't care what none of y'all say. I know that he ain't gonna last too long because he's down to one line and this.
But they did that to him at the end of season 2 as well. You remember in
But that's when it started. But
it was like a huge turnaround. I don't know if you want to say turnaround, but in White Hats Back On, right? 222. He literally had one line. He said, "It's that's it." Okay.
Now y'all see it.
But check it. But no, that's what I'm saying. That's when his legal issues really started because we only just got to see it as it was breaking loose this season. But when I went back and looked at it, he actually his first thing that he did was actually in 2010. So coming into the show, he was already on probation. He was on 3 years probation coming into the show. And
maybe they were just like, we'll just build in some stuff just in case.
So the problem came in when he had his first run-in with his wife. That was breaking his probation. And so then when he turns around and then beats the man down in the bar, which then turned into a felony case, regardless of the fact that the guy didn't want to press charges. Now you're in a federal case. You've broken your probation. So he could just go, even if he doesn't go to jail based on those charges, he could go to prison just for messing up his probation.
Oh, he's got legal issues, period. You know what? You're jogging my mind now because now that I think about it, near the end of the second season, that was a time when he wasn't showing up to a lot of cast promo things and appearances. He was saying that he had a lot of family issues, or it was a trying time for his family. And then we learned, was it the summer or early fall, that a divorce was announced or a separation was announced, and the problems just increased from there.
Right, and then also due to that divorce situation that was pending, then the whole situation about his affair with Brittany came out again. So
that was a different wife.
No, but I'm just saying because this was his second marriage. This was his second wife, but I'm saying when she filed for divorce the first time, because she filed 3 times. So when she filed the first time, that's when all of this talk about his affair with Brittany came up again, because it had kind of fell off and died out, and then of course.
Why would it be even applicable to this marriage, though? I don't understand that.
But just because of who he is at this particular time, because he was on Scandal. If he had just been if
he had faded into the background,
if he had done Stomp the Yard and we never saw him in anything else again, it wouldn't have been news. But because of the fact that he's on Scandal, something was happening in his personal life. Well, by the way, his first divorce happened because of this. That's what that was all about.
So that was a kind of defamation of character thing.
Right.
Wait, didn't he try to plead poverty or something after he got fired from Scandal?
Yeah. And the thing about it is we don't even know that he was actually fired. What if he quit just so he wouldn't have to pay any type of support?
And also, when you think about it, if you think about the quote from the mighty powerful Rick James, cocaine is a powerful drug.
A hell of a drug.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you go backwards to when Whitney was talking about show me the receipts. Mm-hmm. I mean, just got to think. Harrison.
Oh my God! I really
hope he's not on anything.
I really hope he is not on man-made drugs because they're a dangerous thing. Well, you know,
yeah.
I come from.
I can't say don't sue Jaha. This is just something. I don't know. So I don't want to be.
We're just speculating based on the whole Tom Joyner morning show type situation.
You know, I haven't listened to that interview either because I didn't want to hear the hot mess.
It was a hot mess, and he was rather rambly and just didn't.
Oh, you mean the TJMS interview?
Yes.
Oh, that was horrible. It was a train wreck.
He was just only slightly coherent here and there, and poor Tom it was like pulling teeth, and J. Anthony Brown was just trying to make jokes that just kept falling flat because it was just like, you know, because Harrison just wasn't playing along. Not Harrison, but Columbus just wasn't playing along, and I don't think
he was not in the mood.
He was in his own world.
I think he was in his own world. He was tired because my thing is you knew that you had an interview with Tom Joyner the next morning.
Exactly. You should not have been doing whatever he was doing.
Do your event, right? Do your event, wrap it up. But of course, that's probably when he had already gotten the news, so he stayed out and partied all night because it was clear.
This is reminding me of something from the first season of House of Cards with that congressman dude. I can't even remember his name, Remy or some shit.
I have to watch that show.
Oh, it's a good show.
You should watch it. It's a good show. It's entertaining. I really like it, but for me, like the characters, like the characterization is weak. Like I'm not emotionally attached to any of those people, but whatever.
But they all died.
I mean, they literally cut. Every last one of those motherfuckers could die, and then just
wow.
Watch this.
We do have some questions. So
Let's answer this question.
Yeah, Kamara Harrison said, could Shonda Rhimes recast Harrison, or do they have to kill him off? Would the recast work?
Well, no, because I'm going to tell you right now, because Shonda has already come out and addressed that already because of the fact that this whole rumor mill was going on around her casting, what's old boy's name? Lorenz Tate. And then
that other guy.
And then some other guy that nobody even knows.
Somebody?
His name is Eric. Eric. I unfortunately can't remember the last name. Maybe Eric Jones or something like that. But I have the distinction of being the first person to ask her that question before the whole situation broke loose and went all national and stuff. And she basically addressed it and just said, "I don't know who he is, and no, it's not true." And bottom line, she just said Harrison will never be recast. You know,
good.
And
because y'all remember on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they recast Aunt Liv, I was not here for it.
Right.
And I was not here for the recasting of, was it Becky on the Roseanne show? Oh, right. I was mad as hell about that, and I stayed mad. And like even all the way till the end, where they tried to switch her out like real quick at I think it was like the last couple of episodes or something.
Right.
I just didn't appreciate it. Just kill them. I don't want anybody to try and recast them.
Or the thing about it was, or the thing about it was, just let her do what the real character did. The real person did who was playing the character. Let her go away to college, because that's what happened to her. The actress went away to college, so therefore her character should have
somewhere.
But I guess it's because of the fact that there was like this dynamic between Darlene and everybody that they still needed, but it changed. It still changed because the actress was different, and she had a different way of playing the character.
Right. And the chemistry is just different. So, and I don't want to have to readjust to somebody else trying to inhabit that role. Like I would rather just do without the character.
Right.
Like, I know there are a bunch of people who were so here for Steven in the first season, and maybe because like I was not here for him. Let me tell you.
I was.
I did. Well, Steven can go do some things that I'm not gonna say on the air. I do not appreciate him. I do, however.
What did he do to you? Did he come to your house and steal something? Like, you taking that real personal.
I'm taking it real personal. You want to know why? Because of him, like, telling Liv, that basically, when he told her, you can't have him. And I was like, bitch, who the fuck are you? You go get your life with Georgia or whoever the hell that you're going to be with. Leave her alone. You're slightly in love with her. That's why you would have tell her she can't have what she wants. Don't tell her that. Be a friend to her, support her, but don't try to control her life.
But he
so as soon as he said that, well, no. He wanted to be a friend to her, but I really think he wanted to be, like, more than that
to her. So many people say that he has something going on with Abby, and I quite frankly think
Abby was just crushing hard because she was crushing extra hard, and she was bitter about it.
I agree. I agree. Abby was not in a good place to even like be in a relationship with anyone, and she was still hating hard on Steven and his lifestyle, like leftover issues from her marriage, I think. So, but no, I'm not here for recasting. I would like for there to be somebody put this in my inbox earlier about how they'd really like to see somebody like Steven be a friend to Olivia and just be her friend without that kind of weird tension of being them. Like, so not a Jake, okay? Somebody who actually wanted to be her friend and doesn't grab her by the throat.
Well, Harrison wanted to be her friend, and he never grabbed her by the throat.
I would miss Harrison for that, and always having her back without question. I will miss Harrison for that, like, a lot.
I shan't.
But let me.
Are we keeping tally of her hateration?
Her shants and her cans, and I won't, and I will.
I shall.
And her hair flips. Like, oh, well, I don't care.
Yeah, girl, I can flip it now. Hey.
Okay, but let's just go over some things that we will miss him for, even though.
Let's have his eulogy.
Okay.
I will be respectful in place of,
Well, number one, we have to give him credit for setting the tone for the show from the very beginning.
Yes, Harrison is the reason, how we entered into the show.
Exactly, and he set that tone, and he just he was
the gladiator tone.
The gladiator. Hell, he basically that's how we got to be who we are. Calling ourselves gladiators and all of that stuff.
But that's all he did. I'm sorry.
No.
He ushered in Quinn.
He ushered in Quinn.
He introduced us to that whole world of OPA. That's how we as the audience entered in through Harrison introducing us.
Right, and that first season, and especially the first episode, Harrison was the Greek chorus of the first episode because he told us what was happening and what was going to happen and how it was going to happen.
He was the narrator.
Basically, he was.
Yeah, well, he was holding our hands going into that world, helping us to kind of understand and navigate these waters. Clearly, you don't need that after a while, and the first season was very short. But, Harrison did do a lot of that. And it served its purpose because Quinn was new, just as the audience was new to that world. We had a lot to learn.
Right, and so, we were like Quinn, too.
Yeah.
Because it was, you're like, it was almost like we were at that little bar table with them, being ushered in just like she was, and basically through that whole first episode, he was the coach. He was coaching her and telling her this is how you're going to have to be, and then ultimately, as Jaha said, they stopped featuring him, and then Huck became her cheerleader and her guy, because I think of they were kind of trying to wean themselves off of a little Harrison here and there because of the things that were going on in his life.
They didn't want to build too many storylines up around him. So try to keep him tangential to a lot of things that were going on.
Yeah.
Right.
I can see that now for the second season.
Well, I have a couple of who in the world is that?
Shout out to Gladiator in Harlem.
Right.
Are you making all that noise with them papers?
With your screen?
No. I think you lying, Langston. He was like,
No, that was probably me sniffling, but I mean, I can't control when I sniffle and sneeze. I'm never going to be able to mute it in time.
You have a nostril and you feel that dream, so I'm to mute yourself.
You know what?
Because
she wants my nostril to die.
I'm gonna put him in timeout, and he's gonna be talking, and ain't nobody gonna see him say a word. You're gonna be like, "What happened to her?"
She's so cold.
Next thing you know, I'm sitting here, and all I hear is "in that right time." Uh-oh.
Don't let her touch you on the shoulder, like.
I know, right?
You might end up dead.
No, nobody can take command, son.
Well, Eldia said that her 2 cents is that she'll miss Harrison. He was once a character that showed so much promise, and she does not like the new time slot. And then I do want to also piggyback off of you saying Gladiator in Harlem. We love you, Gladiator in Harlem. She is having trouble. She can't get on to the screen. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I've been tweeting her trying to figure it out, but I don't know. And then Kamara Harrington is back in the inbox. She says, can somebody please find Jake a woman? I like the one that turned out to be an assassin that Daddy P sent. The first one in the coffee shop, but Fitzman took her out. She was trying to kill Jake. So, yeah, you got to die. Like, you got a gun on him, you're going to die now.
Right.
Yeah. I really wish he would find a woman.
Somebody else.
I'm so tired of this bullshit with him trying to force Olivia into saving him or not listening to the words that are coming out of her mouth. Right. I am in love with another man. Like, how many times?
I am not featuring you. Right.
Now, I'm just going to ask you, why did you send Katrina down this rabbit hole? We are here for
you. What?
You know she was about to go off, y'all. You already know her.
You know what? My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. I'm done. I'm not talking about it.
You know you are not. You're going to be like, look, Jake needs to die. Y'all were eulogizing Harrison. I just wanted to keep us back on track. I'm just saying.
That's right.
Okay. So I have another favorite moment, another favorite Harrison moment. You tell me if it's one of yours, Katrina, because we can't even ask Jaha because she ain't even She ain't participating. She's just hosting.
I know. I'm like, Jaha, you really not gonna like say one good thing about Harrison or say that you had a favorite or chuckle-worthy, eyebrow-raising moment with Harrison?
I can see it forming in her head already. No.
Thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, and the answer is a resounding no.
See, I was actually expecting a hell no, but
no, just
well,
no.
She said she was going to be respectful during the eulogy.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So, one of my favorite Harrison moments comes from episode 2, when they're working with the madam.
Yes.
And so then they're trying to figure out how are they going to get this, this whole mess cleared up and still get this guy elected as a judge. And she basically figures it out, calls Harrison, and the next thing we know, we see Harrison approaching each one of these men, calling out what they like.
Yes, I remember that.
Calling out their proclivities.
They're really smooth into
Sunny Day.
Congressional building. Yeah.
Sunny Day.
Hardwood
floors. Right.
Those terms were some shit, though. Yes. I was like,
yeah.
Well, I will agree with that. I thought that was pretty clever.
Too many girls spoke Greek.
Ooh, right. And poor Abby, when they first explained that to her before she was like, oh my. And this is the same woman who enjoyed looking at pictures of some man's penis, as well as watching the video of that one.
Abby's a freak.
She is a freak.
But she is about, she is about whores. She does it very kindly.
She says that word hard too.
Oh yeah.
Whores. She puts the extra R on there.
Hating ass. I wonder if Charles cheated on her with prostitutes or something.
Probably. And
it could have been.
Cheated on her and beat it on her. So, yeah. And I don't know, beat it on her ain't no word, but you know.
That is a term.
I had to make it rhyme. I know it's a term. It's just not proper English. It's just not proper English. I don't want anybody.
In some cultures, no.
I just don't want anybody to get the wrong impression of me.
Lord have mercy. Now you're telling your proclivities. No.
Wait, what?
No.
I know, because I was like, what?
You the one that tried to send Katrina down the hole, and I got to read your stuff before I start reading on it.
Okay, before you read it out
loud. She's eulogizing with y'all. She said she loves that he always had Liv's back. The example of when they had to come up with someone else who could have slept with Fitz. He did what he had to do, and Liv trusted him with everything.
Right.
Well, Liv didn't want them to do that in 301, but that was just an example of him trying to have Liv's back. But they didn't have all the information. They didn't know about Liv and Fitz's like pact about wanting to come out and be truthful about the whole thing. So he was just trying to save Liv. And yeah, like Harrison always had Olivia's back without question, even when she told him to do some really messed up things. Just he went and he did it. He was a total G, and I have to give him a shout out for that.
I'm muting you because you running out. Now you're going into the timeout corner.
Your phone?
Yeah. We muted him. Now you go ahead, Katrina.
No, he has the list. Don't mute Langston. He's going down his list.
It wasn't me.
He's like, unmute. Who you playing with, girl? I got the same damn buttons.
Right.
She's drunk with power.
I know. Somebody. I think it may be more than power, but
no. All I had to do was juice.
You know she been online. She been on the air drunk before, so don't put it past her now.
That was one time. Boy, y'all don't let people live stuff down.
With you, Langston, she was drunk. Why didn't we ever have a drunk podcast?
She was toasted. I was cracking up. But anyway,
I used to do a drunk podcast
because it was so funny. Matter of fact, when I realized that something was not quite right was a Harrison moment. We were talking about Harrison, and she snapped off for about a good 10 minutes, and I said, "Jaha."
She had it on her soul.
I said, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Forgive me. I have been drinking. I've had a little much to drink, and blah blah blah." And she was just still, and then she went back into Harrison, and I was like, "Damn."
I'm sorry.
Wow, Jaha. It's like you have Harrison on your mind sometimes. Like you go to sleep thinking about him. Wake up.
No, I do not.
Well, I don't know. Right. You sure? It sounds like you had a lot on your soul that day.
That's a lot.
When
you have little smalls marching through
tirade.
She did. So what about you, Katrina? What are some of your favorite moments?
Well, besides I like the storyline thing with Abby and their friendship and that whole thing that happened. I remember the moment where they danced outside of that crazy old man's house.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 207, and they ended up staying in the car. I love that moment when they danced together. So that was one of my favorite Harrison moments. And his when he tried to give that big office talk to all of those ex-assassins from B613, and then he went back into his office and he was shaking.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one.
I know how that feels, to appear like you're all big and bad, and then when it's over, you're quaking in your boots.
Right.
I do remember one. He said, "Are we gladiators or are we bitches?"
Yes. That was a good line too.
Yeah.
That was 301. Look, she got all of the gladiators together in 301, right?
Right.
To do some shit.
And wasn't there one where he called himself, tried to stop Huck from doing something, and Huck kind of punked him and just kind of put his arm behind his back
him up.
And slammed him on the table, back up.
I think it was 209. if I'm not mistaken. That episode where everybody was trying to stop him from going after that Becky girl.
Right, that's right. That's what it was.
Yeah, to try and be with her.
So. Right. Because they had been trying to tell him that, you know, she's responsible, and he's like, no, she wouldn't do that, blah blah blah. And
you don't know her.
You don't know. Yeah, haven't we all had that moment? You don't know.
You don't know her like I know her.
She would never do that.
Like, you've known this girl for 5 minutes, and you yourself said that you weren't too sure about her, and then Olivia was like, Huck, you don't need to do a background check. She's a normal girl. Just go with it. See?
Right.
See how
see what happened? Right. If Liv had just done that background check, Fitz never would have got shot.
You know? Right. If she just let Huck be Huck.
Right.
And do what he was going to do. They could have worked out.
Yeah. So I hope we never have to do this for Huck, but yeah, that would be terrible.
I hope not either. I like Huck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yes, somebody asked this question, Kimara again. Did anybody think that in season 1, Harrison and Quinn would end up together, or was that just me? Not just you.
There was a moment.
They had a little office thing. I would have been here for it.
But see, they set it up, because like I said, I was reviewing the first 2 seasons, and they set it up where it could be either or, where it could have been Harrison or it could have been Huck, because just within, like, I think the second episode was when Quinn was making this phone call and she was all giddy talking to what's his name, to Gideon, and trying to set up a date with him, and you know, Huck was standing there watching it the entire time, and you know, and then she gets off, she's like, what? And he's like, you're weird. And she goes, I'm not weird. And he goes, weird's good. And he just kind of had this smile on his face, and then he walked away. And I was like, okay, they're setting us up for something there. But also in the first episode, they kind of set it up because, you know, the way he talked to her and was like kind of smooth about it, just like if this were a date, you would know it was a date because this is what I would do and blah 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 and all that stuff. So they kind of set a tone on both sides that it could have been either guy. And I think had Columbus's situation not been taking a downhill, you know, speeding downhill turn, they may have
gone in that direction.
They may have went in a totally different direction. Quinn may not have ever become the drill mama that she is today.
You just reminded me of something, another favorite Harrison moment that was with Quinn and I guess also Abby. It was in season 2.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't like 202, 204 maybe. Or they were at the bar. Remember?
It may have been even earlier because it was not long after she got acquitted.
Yeah, it wasn't long after she got acquitted, but she had to come back to work. It was after she came back to work, and she didn't come back to work until like
episode 3.
Yeah, I feel like it was either 203 or 204, and they're I think it was 204 because at the end of 204, that's when David comes up to Abby after Quinn and Harrison leave, and by 205, Abby is like dating David. But in any case, in that episode where Abby calls her Lindsay again, and Quinn's like, I have a name and it's not Lindsay, and Harrison says, Quinn, bitch. Like, that was an iconic line for season 2. How could I forget?
He did have great lines.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had some good lines. That was one of the things that I wrote down, was that he had some really good one-liners sometimes, and then his expressions.
Sometimes that's all he had.
Yeah. Sometimes literally, but you know what's funny is he had a lot of screen time, but not a lot of lines. Sometimes, he was just like just standing there looking like a Sears catalog model,
or flipping his phone in the background.
Right.
His phone or giving side eye. He was really good.
He was really good at that.
Side eye, yeah, right. Definitely. I'll miss that.
The raised eyebrow and the side eye, because somebody would say something, or Liv would be trying to explain something, and he's looking like I don't know.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Do you guys ever listen to the read the
Yes,
podcast
I was
Color
listening
Rate.
to it today.
Mm.
Oh my god! So I just recently got my life because I only started listening to that show like a week
You
ago.
did? I told you about it, didn't I?
You might have, and I was just like, where have I been that I have missed this? I mean, obviously I've known about Kid Fury for a while and like watched his YouTube videos, but I'm like, why was I not like on this? But anyway, they crack me up because they say that Harrison is the character that is like that guy who you work with who's always like, look, I need to get out of here at 5 o'clock. Let's get this shit together.
Right.
Yeah.
I can get on with my life. Come on.
And you know what? Out of all of the characters, let's see. We haven't seen Abby's place. We've seen.
No, only David.
No, we have seen Abby's place because they were in Abby's house, weren't they? At one point.
She's always gone over to David's.
She's
house.
always gone over to David's, but we definitely never saw. We definitely never saw Harrison's place. That's one thing. It was like, do you ever go home? Because he seemed to hang out in that office an awful lot. So,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, he slept with Adnan at a hotel at one point.
No, that was in the office.
That was in the office.
But weren't they in the office at one point?
Twice.
They had sex in the office twice.
Yeah, they never went to a hotel.
He slept with the sister daughter girl.
Yeah, he went to her house.
Candace.
He was supposed to be keeping Candace on a leash, and yeah. You see how that
babysitting her.
It was. Oh no, you didn't. It was a leash, all right, but
it was.
No, you remember that, Jaha, because you made fun of his body on the podcast when we like discussed that episode.
I know nothing of what you speak.
She shows no love and no respect for that man.
She's just such a hater.
I'm doing a Beyonce fade to the background.
Oh. She did not. But of course, you actually have to turn your head away from the camera in order to do that.
That's right.
Because she was not facing the camera. She was more like.
I don't know nothing about these jokes. Okay, so y'all have your favorite moments of Harrison. We've eulogized him. Now Sister Odell's gonna come down the way and sing a little song or two. Kamara Harrington said, when Daddy Pope came into OPA to see Liv, did Harrison know that he was her father? He and Huck had the same look on their faces.
I was always curious about that. I felt like that's somewhere the show could have gone with Harrison in establishing the connection. Right. I don't, it's not really clear to me that Harrison knew that was Olivia's father, or that he had any kind of relationship with him, because later episode was like 317, and Rowan is there, and he's like, he's like, Papa Pope, can I call you Papa Pope? And I'm like, if you knew him before then, wouldn't that be something that you would have known, or you wouldn't ask him that question?
Right. And also the fact that even at that time, even though Huck knew who he was on a different level, he didn't know that was her father.
Right.
He didn't. Right. Because they
didn't know that for a while, actually.
Right. Huck only knew that she had lunches with her dad, and that's how he got his burgers when she came back from the restaurant, heading back on the subway. But yeah, I don't think
that's some irony for your behind.
I know, right? I don't think that's serious irony. But I don't think that Harrison knew, and I don't think that
Huck didn't know that was even Command at the obviously he had never met Command when he was in B-16.
Right, because there was always a go-between.
Right, he dealt with a different.
As a matter of fact, they never other than that flashback from. But what's funny was I didn't even realize it until reviewing later that that was when they actually first introduced Rowan. Like it was a
in 752.
Right, when it was like after Charlie, after Charlie was supposed to have killed Huck, and he comes back, and then they bring in Rowan, and he's like, so what happened here? And he goes, is he dead? And he's like, yeah. He goes, what a waste of talent. So that was the first time that he said, what a waste of talent. And then later in the end of this season, then he says it again with Harrison.
So is that a clue?
Young, gifted, and black.
Is that a clue? Because y'all know Shonda be dropping clues in these dialogues. So
right. Well, one happened in. But yeah, I do. Speaking of clues, I do think that was a very, very strong message that she sent him out on. To be young, gifted, and black.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read that two ways? Like, I read that for the actor as well as
I did.
The character.
I did. Yeah. I read it as her saying, "What a waste."
What a waste. He could have been beautiful. And here we go.
I could have made you a star, kid. I could have.
You could have been a star.
He had to put them paws on him. That's why.
It's like, is it ever that serious? I mean, I just don't understand.
Think so.
I don't understand how celebrities let themselves get into situations.
I don't understand how people let themselves get into it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's because I hate the term at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, they're just people like anyone else, and it's so easy to say, "Oh my God, I would never be in that situation," but in the heat of the moment, when it's a perfect storm,
right?
You don't know how you're going to act or how you're going to lash out. And sometimes once you've already started, then it becomes just a really slippery slope to just engage in any kind of behavior and to care. And especially if it's being aided by any kind of substance abuse whatsoever, it can just get really crazy.
Right. But but speaking of situations like that, I mean, the fact that after the incident on the elevator, had that footage never come out, based on how they exited the elevator, no one would ever have known that something went wrong in there. No. Other than the fact that Jay-Z was holding his cheek like, damn. But
when you get 2 kicks to the straight face, I mean, that's a little hard to come back from. Like, you just had your foot on my whole face. That's disgusting.
But Solange and Beyonce walked out of that elevator like nonchalant, like nothing had happened.
They were talking about this on the read today, and Crystals was saying how.
Oh, I haven't listened yet.
Oh, girl, I'm so sorry.
No, but you go ahead. No, it's fine.
I was just gonna make a comment. She was saying how nobody ever thought Solange wouldn't ever put paws on people. Like, they said that she's the one that you would think would go all Houston on your ass because that's just her. So I don't know. I don't know what happened in those rich people's lives.
Her mind. So homegirl Solange is not one to
What did you say? Repeat that again.
Respectable. I said Solange is the one that told Beyonce to speak her mind. Because in Flawless, Beyonce's like, my sister told me to speak my mind. And Solange has been speaking her mind. She's just a lot more of a free spirit than Beyonce is. Beyonce had to kind of open up to letting herself be free and do what she wants to do in her music and her life. And Solange seems like she's just kind of always been that way. Right. And telling people, girl, bye, left and right. So I wasn't surprised. But
I'm here for Solange and her beautiful clothes. Solange can dress. I love her little natural hair. I love me some Solange. Y'all can say what you want. She kicked people in the face. Oh, well, stop getting near her foot. That's all I'm saying. Like,
girl, please. No, I'm not here for her foot or her fist being near anybody.
I cannot.
Don't get in the elevator with her then. That's all I'm saying.
I thought
stay far away.
Somebody from the Crunk Feminist Collective wrote a really good piece, a response to it, talking about She
froze. I was so ready to hear that, the feminist.
People in families, families like brothers and sisters or uncles and aunts or whatever the hell, that kind of violence, like within families, that it happens, but doesn't, and we're not used to seeing it from a woman to a man. So some people, you have people on one hand saying, oh, he was totally emasculated by that, how he should have come at her, and
That's
you have
crazy.
other people writing it off and saying like, yes, Solange, you go, girl. And it's like, no, that was inappropriate behavior. Yeah, I don't condone, like I don't condone the violence that she did,
initiated
when it wasn't provoked by any kind of physical attack. I'm like, if you put your hands on me, best believe hands are coming back at you. I am not Jesus. I am not turning my cheek. I'm sorry, but if you're saying some shit to me, like, I'm not going to be the one to push you. But so I encourage people to check out that Black feminist response over at Crunk Feminist Collective if you want to read something really good and nuanced and not the fuckery that people have been posting about the black family and all that kind of shit.
Okay, Katrina's a little angry. So we are going to move on to our Scandalverse part of the evening, where we give you all some news that's been going on in Scandal. And I would like to talk about this because I am super excited. And
I see.
I know.
I really am. Y'all just don't know. I'm like, I can't wait. Viola Davis is going
You've been hanging out with Columbus Short.
What? No,
I said, if you've been hanging out, she's all hyped up and she's bouncing around.
She on whatever.
No, sir.
Let me shut my mouth.
So
get us all sued.
Viola Davis is starring in Shonda's new drama called How to Get Away with Murder. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited because I am going to be reviewing this show. I'm not doing it on a podcast because I can't do no more podcasts. I got too much. So
she'll change her mind.
Look, it might have to piggyback off the end of Scandal, but I can't. But so I'm excited because I'm gonna do YouTube videos about it because I'm really geeked, and it just looks so interesting. Did y'all see it? I was trying to show it to y'all, but
I haven't seen the trailer yet. No, I mean, I can look it up like after this. I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I love Viola Davis. I just reblogged something the other day about her like 7-minute performance in Doubt and how she just made the entire movie with her performance. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her in something where she gets more time and more nuance to grow a character, which is what television shows really offer actors these days. I'm not looking forward to seeing how much people love it the first season and then start hating on it after like a season, but I can't wait to watch it and see how great it is.
Now, you know what's crazy to me about this? Viola Davis has not been in a series. Like, she's mainly a big screen actress, right? I've never seen her.
She's mainly a film actress.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, what? Yeah, I was so excited.
But a lot of actors are doing that. I mean, you have Kevin Spacey being in House of Cards, Robin Wright Penn. Those are not television actors. Those are film actors. And television, the quality of television, the scripts that people have been offered the last 5, really say 10 years. And I think The Sopranos was really the start of that kind of ushering in that kind of change. But it's been happening a lot where film actors are on TV in really good series.
I will say this.
Actually, it started like in the 80s, but
you think?
Oh yeah, there were like Rock Hudson and Barbara Stanwyck. There were people that were that once upon a time wouldn't even be caught dead on a television screen. They were all, but like the whole nighttime soap opera thing is what ushered that whole situation in, because there were even Dallas, the matriarch, the mother and the father, they were originally movie actors before they went on Dallas, and that the 80s kind of ushered that situation in because they just that just was unheard of prior to that. But
the quality of those shows are different from like what we're getting now.
Right. And true, but I mean, it's like that. But that's when the actors started to cross over, even in the 70s, because Rock Hudson being a movie actor. He was doing McMillan and Wife in the 70s.
Mm.
So there was that whole situation. But you're right, it's more prevalent now, and I think because of those situations back in the 80s, that's what has, you know,
the stigma isn't there now.
It's
like,
not like it used to be.
Not like it used to be. I mean, certainly in the 90s, the stigma was still definitely there. If you were, you know, went to television.
Because ultimately, if you went to television, you know, when after you were like a hot thing in the movies, your career was supposedly over.
Mm-hmm.
That was the impression.
Well, I was just saying it because I kind of feel that Kerry Washington did a reverse solid for these women, because not only is Viola Davis in a primetime TV show slot, but Alfre Woodard is as well with that show that she's coming out with Katherine Heigl on one of the other networks. So
don't mention those two women's names in the same breath.
Well, they are doing a show together, sir. And guess who was the president?
I don't have any respect for Katherine Heigl.
I don't either.
The show is called State of Affairs, and it is very scandalesque in its makeup because
I bet it
is pretty much playing Carrie, and she was in love with the president's son, and you know, so it's
seriously,
he died. He died, and so
that's
he
the
died.
premise.
Yeah, he died, and she works for the CIA. So it's an interesting looking show. So I will also be reviewing that, and I know that.
How are you getting the time, Jaha?
I'm gonna do it, girl. I'm gonna do it.
Wow, I'm gonna watch it go.
You know,
it's only gonna be 3 to 5 minutes.
I don't know.
A long period of time.
I don't know the name of y'all child protection agency down there, but I might have to give them.
Mommy, can I come in?
Tell y'all something. Since we've been off air, I have actually written 2 books, and I've lost 20 pounds.
Look at you! Congratulations!
Yeah, so I mean,
we've been off the air for a month.
Yeah,
I know.
How you wrote a book in a month?
I have 2 books that I wrote in a month, and yeah, so I'm doing stuff.
I need to know what the formula is for writing a book in a month, because
sitting down and doing it
3 hours to write sentences that I'm satisfied with.
It takes you 3 hours to do what?
To write 2 sentences that I'm satisfied with.
No, ma'am. You're doing the most.
You know what?
Doing the most.
Right. Because I'm just like, based on the knowledge that she holds in her head, I have a hard time believing that.
No, for for stories, it's different. For y'all just don't know the stuff I put myself through.
The perfectionist, and so she fights with herself instead of just letting it.
I do struggle with that.
Yeah. So for me, that's not the issue. Like, I used to have that, but the first version of what you're writing should be just a vomit on the page version, and then you go back and clean it up. Like when you
clean it up.
Yeah, not like that day. So now you done wrote 1,000 words and you only got 2 sentences.
No, I usually don't do that. This just depends on where I am, but I am easily distracted.
I'm not because I know I can get it done.
See, but again, I can't even imagine that, because you're so focused and you have all this knowledge in your head about. I mean, just the fact that you
said to her.
remembering the numbers and let me just remember. Okay, this is what he said on this point.
But you know what, Langston? That's also part of the problem, because I do hold so much information. It is, where do I pull from? Like right now, listen, I just finished my rewatch today, and I have 90 written pages of notes from reviewing like season 3, right? And I already know what I'm going to do like with all of that information, and the major piece that I want to write is about like family values in season 3 and the effect on like Olivia and Fitz. And I'm just like, how am I going to do this? I have so much shit to pull from. How am I going to do this? And sometimes like all the information can seem really overwhelming. So that's also part of my problem, is that I hold too much like in my head.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk to Shonda about your series. That sounds like a very interesting premise right there. A woman who holds too much knowledge in her head.
Oh,
well,
Lord.
The formula that you were asking for is basically sitting down at the computer and writing it. Like,
Do you give yourself like a number? Like, do you say, okay, I'm just gonna write for 3 hours straight, and whatever I have is what I have?
No, I actually sit down and figure out my word count that I'm going to write. So if a book is going to start out at 60,000 words, then I will say all my books have 10 chapters. So I'll say, okay, so each chapter needs to be blah, blah, blah in length. So that means each scene needs to be a certain length. So I just keep typing until, in all of my books, they switch scenes like a TV show. So if you read it, you'll be like, oh, this is happening here. And then it'll switch to another scene where something's going on with two different set of characters or a different character or whatever. So,
yes, you do that.
Yeah. So I prefer to write that way because to me, it'll make it easier when it does become a TV show. Because that's what my goal is, to take my writing and make them into series for television. So, yeah, there you go. That's the formula, Kamara. And I don't know who KJ is. I don't know if that's you, Kamara, but someone was having trouble accessing the Q&A app. You can actually just tweet me at Scandal Podcast and you wouldn't have that issue. So I'm sorry for your frustration, but I think you just click on the screen and make your comment. Or even, you got to click on the screen. It's something, because if you put it in that box that's on that page, I'm not going to see it. It's not going to show up in the app unless we go to the actual page, and I'm not on the page anymore. So there you go. Was there any other Scandal news that you all wanted to share? Carrie had her baby.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
Congratulations, Carrie Washington, on your bundle of joy.
Congratulations on being a mama.
Definitely. And you know what's great? We didn't know about it until about, 2 weeks after the baby had been born? You go, girl.
Yeah.
Keep your life out of this public eye.
She kept that very quiet. But now, Carrie, get on back to filming. Okay?
I think that's kind of why they moved the time up, don't y'all think?
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah, that could be.
They said that they were lopping off 4 episodes of the show because of her pregnancy. So that was the official release, but they don't start filming until July. So I'm sure she's gonna do her bestest to get back into OG Olivia Pope, fitness mode, so that she can be fly as hell, because I did really miss that in the third season. Right,
no more big heavy coats and purses. No big old heavy purses and stuff. But no, I think Jaha
and lampshades.
But did they? So now here's the question: did they move the show up from 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? Is that what happened?
9 o'clock. So it's 9 o'clock. And then it's going to be Scandal, and then it's going to be the other show. Because, they want to get the audience from Shonda's other shows for her new show. So they're going to build the audience, sort of that way. Once Scandal, when it premiered, was it always at 9? At 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. I actually watched the first season on.
It was. It was at 9. It was at 9.
It was.
Well, for the Midwest, it was at 9. I don't know what it was like.
Okay.
Some areas it's 10 o'clock because I don't know.
It's 10 o'clock
I
on me.
I think it's just a time zone situation.
Because isn't Carrie in California? Isn't she over there, or is she in New York?
Well, we never know. Sometimes she's in California. Sometimes she's in New York. She goes back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But I think mostly in LA.
Yeah, but yeah.
Thank you so very much, Kamara. I appreciate that. But she said, thank you, and you go, girl. Yay.
That's right. You go, girl. I have to take my, I flip my braids to you, writing to
Yeah.
Leia braids.
I did. She did the Princess Leia because
I said my Princess Leia braids.
She didn't even bring Mama Pope with her today.
I did not. Mama Pope only comes out 20 if I'm so
Mama Pope. Mama Pope's literally tied up.
Yes. Mama Pope and her sexy smirk and hair might be back for the season premiere of Scandal in the fall. So,
hello.
Here we go.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have more hair next time, and I won't be embarrassed by Katrina's luscious flowing locks.
Baby.
There's no need. There's no need.
I'm not jealous.
Honestly, whenever the camera comes up, I never know who's going to be on the other side. because you have a different look every time.
That's my soul, honey.
Because one day I'm sitting up here just waiting, and then all of a sudden the camera pops up. I'm like, your hair is red this week.
Oh my God, I really want to dye my hair. You know, that kind of lavender color.
Oh, really? The purple?
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about it.
It is cute. I like it.
So cute, isn't it? Not the dark purple, but like a light purple. It looks almost kind of gray. I've been thinking about that because if it's ugly, then I just dye it black.
I'm gonna say
look like an old lady.
I'm gonna say no.
Lavender. It's not even purple. It's lavender.
My computer says no.
Computer says no.
Computer says it. Oh, see, I love that. I love that character, and I know.
I love David Walliams so much.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
It's this show called Little Britain, and there was this character on there. She was she would be like a receptionist at a clinic or whatever, and people would come in and says, I have an appointment, and she would just tap away on her computer, not really typing anything.
Yeah.
And computer says no.
No. Everything was no.
Yeah. It was so
okay, I think we've gone down the hole enough. Do y'all have any news for anything? Telling people anything?
Well, I'm still trying to raise funds for my Black Alphabet Film Festival, so...
When is that supposed to be, Langston?
It's actually going to be July 2nd and 3rd. July 2nd will be at the Harold Washington... Not the Harold Washington. What is wrong with me? July 2nd, we'll be at the DeSable Museum in Chicago, and on July 3rd, we will be at the Center on Halsted in Chicago. So do visit us at www.blackalphabet.org, not .com, but .org, because if you put .com, you'll find something completely different. And just, visit our, go to our website, then click on our link for donations and go to our Indiegogo page, because we're coming up on our last 6 days. We're on our last 6 days of our campaign, and we just really need some support from the public.
Okay.
Support, you guys. I don't really have anything that I can talk about yet because I'm waiting on some things. However, one exciting thing is that I have been for about 6 months now a commentator on this community radio show where I live, but it's broadcast to lots of different countries because it's on the internet. And the guy became managing director of the station, and it's a community run station. But he likes me, not like that, but he thinks I'm a good addition to the show, so he offered me a slot, like my own show coming up. So yeah,
cool.
So
I'm sorry, y'all.
And you guys, you're probably gonna laugh at me because the way I sound on this podcast, you're like, you don't have a voice for radio. Don't let me put my radio shit on you because it is smooth and sexy, but
you don't talk in the mic.
You know what? I'm just gonna do what Fitz did to
to Gabby.
Oh my gosh! No, he did that to old boy across the table.
Did. Yeah.
That thing was hilarious.
And,
I remember. I pointed it out. I
to Andrew. He did it to Andrew. Yeah.
Like,
so here's to you, John.
That is profane, sir.
Shade.
Did you just get a list? That's profane, sir.
She just got a list. But when that's all said, I'll announce
it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm sort of figuring out the tone of the show because it's going to be a Saturday morning show, and I've got a few ideas percolating. But if you have any ideas for what kind of show you would like to hear on a Saturday morning, please do tweet me at #1feeling on Twitter. I'd love to hear. Thanks.
That is awesome.
I have a question for
girl.
Oh, thank you.
I have a question for Katrina Pavela.
Oh.
So where does your Twitter name come from? What does that mean? Number one feeling.
My Twitter name is actually from my other website, which is called Number One Feeling.
Yes.
And I put that website up because I just wanted a space to really get out all my feelings, because I have a lot of them. And number one feeling is fear. It's something that has sort of like plagued me a lot in my life, and is always sort of like threatening to derail me from the things that I want. So it's like the number one thing that I have to overcome, my number one feeling. So
I totally feel you on that, girl. When I went over to California for that conference, I saw everything that I wanted like laid out in front of me, and it was such a scary feeling that it was overwhelming, and like I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to feel. Like I didn't know. I had a little panic attack because I was freaking out because I saw it. Like the vision was so clear. It was weird.
Yeah. Is it Marianne Williams or Marianne? I can't remember her name. That quote that says, God, why am I forgetting the quote about basically that what we're scared of is not failing, but it's success, and about how amazing we can be. And I think that is so true. And I've gone through that in moments in my life, like many times. You know, you want something and you feel like you have the potential, you can see it in your mind, and when it comes time for you to get that thing, it can be so scary to make that leap that you need to make in order to be where you've always wanted to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's the better way to write characters. Like we were talking about that earlier. I think when you know yourself and you can analyze those feelings going on inside of you and figure out how to get past them or over them or let them take you over, you can sit inside a character that is hugely flawed and write the hell out of it because you know that person. So that's just my thought anyway. I think if you're
that's how I write my characters. That's my therapy. I put that stuff into my characters.
That's right. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Y'all just don't know what I be doing in them books. Well, Gladiator in Harlem did want me to announce this to you all for the Scandal podcast. There is the second annual worldwide Meet Who You Tweet event that will be held in Los Angeles at the Garland Hotel in August. It's August 1st through the 6th, and fans across the world will be uniting to meet other gladiators. It's Meet Who You Tweet convention given by Outlaw Josie Carter. Her name is Josie Carter.
Shout out to Josie in New York. I'm jealous. I really wish I could be there. Like if I could be there, I would love to be there. So
it's in California.
Well, I love California. Believe me. Let me tell you something. That's one of my dreams for the future, and something that I've wanted for a while. I said I want to live somewhere in California. Yeah, let's move together.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to live in that state for a portion of my life. Yeah. I don't think that I will settle there forever, but definitely will be living there for a portion of my life.
I'm moving there after my daughter finishes high school. I'm like, you know where I'm going.
But Katrina, aren't you married?
I am married, yeah.
So she's going to ditch her daughter. You're going to ditch your husband.
No. I'm not ditching anyone. She's going off to live her life.
What'd she say?
Well, I get all of mine.
What, your daughter? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
She said she's growing up. I'm officially going to have her age changed to 18 tomorrow.
I just stick her in high school early.
No, I am very bad. I am a very selfish person because I really am just like, what do I want to do? And I never think, well, I know I need so-and-so's permission to do it. It's just like, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. No, but obviously it's more complicated than that. Well, can I say one thing, actually, that is scandal-related? I know I mentioned that radio thing, but this next thing is scandal-related. As I announced on my blog today that I've kind of been MIA because just stuff has been going on with me, and I've not been doing a lot on Scandal, but I have a lot of content coming. And the very first thing that will be coming starting on Monday. It's called Monologue Mondays, and it's going to be either my favorite monologue or something that I find really compelling or interesting. And I'm going to start with the 3rd season because I have so much information on that, and I'll post a monologue or a short section of dialogue between 2 characters, and then sort of brief commentary, brief for me, so it'll be no more than a paragraph, just so that I can keep doing it, because if I did too much, I just wouldn't be able to continue it. And that will be in addition to random stuff that's coming up, and I'm going to do a full rundown of family and loyalty references from the 3rd season of Scandal coming up in the next couple of weeks. So.
And I just wanted to reiterate her website address is KatrinaPavela.tumblr.com. And then the website address for the Gladiators Meet Who You Tweet is gladiatorsunite.com. And the Twitter handle is @GladiatorsUnite. And then I also wanted to tell you all about, I am going to be in New York next month at this Blogging While Brown conference.
I'm jealous.
I'm speaking at the conference, so you could definitely get a ticket and come.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I'm being a big girl. So,
which panel are you speaking on, or what are you speaking on?
I am speaking on social currency by using Triber, but I will also be talking about. I know I'll be going through personal development, branding, and then talking about social currency since they all tie together. And basically, that's what I do anyway. So. I'm like, okay, this will work. So I'm excited and scared and nervous and all that good stuff.
It's gonna be great.
Just breathe, you'll be fine.
Oh, thank you. If I don't shake apart, I'm like, so I remember when I used to perform poetry, I'd be so nervous.
Because I was thinking that's where you went last week when you, or the week before.
Last year, last month. Yeah, no, I didn't go there. I went to California, and it was beautiful. It was lovely. Everybody was great. It was really nice. I'm super excited for what's coming. And I am writing books, y'all, but it's under a pen name, so you won't be seeing that on JahANite.com. You know, the girl got a little TT, gotta write a little TT. Now, y'all don't need to know everything.
You writing those over 21 books?
I'm not saying a word. I don't say nothing. I test out this market and see what the market is yielding, what kind of fruit is falling from the tree.
So Katrina and I will be back to tell you exactly what she's doing once we torture her and get the information out of her.
Yeah, I'm gonna pope up. I'm gonna be a mama.
She said she's gonna pope up.
Right, it's gonna be a G. About it.
So that's about. And Dear New Author, the new podcast that I'm doing with Olivia Linden, who is not here because she had some, technical difficulties, but. I'm doing this new podcast with Olivia, and it's coming along very well. We have 2 authors that are sitting on the panel with us, and then we're looking for 2 more, actually. So we're looking for 2 more authors to be on that podcast, and we will tape at the end of this month. So you can find that podcast on bookcoverarthq.com because that is where it will be housed. It won't be housed on JahANite.com. I got too much stuff over there already. So will you be on bookcoverarthq.
I have a question. So will you'll be interviewing different panel authors, or you're just going to be a set group?
It's a set group, and then we'll have a new author or someone that is aspiring to be a new author that is a rotating seat. Yes, y'all are the first 2. The 2 of you are the first 2 on the show, actually, in my head, anyway.
I'm not writing anything, but I do know.
I am.
But I what?
Character perspective. You have a character perspective that you can definitely use.
That's true, and I do know of an author that you should speak to. Because he's written a really wonderful book about a black witch from the Harlem Renaissance. So
ooh, nice. I think I know who you're talking about. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited to pair up with them. One lady, she writes shifter romance, and she's awesome. So I'm just going to tease y'all with that. And then another lady, she writes it's interracial and multicultural romance. So that's awesome as well.
Are they all going to be romance?
No, I'm trying to get diversity. That's why we're getting two additional persons. No, but we're talking about the process of self-publishing and how that works and what the industry is doing. We're talking about that kind of stuff. And then at the end, we're having like a little mastermind session. But it's a really good format that we've come up with. And having that rotating new author that has a voice and is able to tell us what they're interested in is going to be awesome. So.
Good. Well, I can't wait to learn from you guys too. So I have much to learn.
So, what is the genre that you're writing, Katrina?
I don't know what to call it because it's biography meets ethnography. So I'm very concerned with just the human condition and kind of why we do the things that we do. And the whole premise of my book is that, well, it's not really a book. I have a novel that I'm writing, but my priority is to write this collection of short stories, which short stories like isn't like the most popular genre, but it's something that's just in my soul that I need to write. And it's the premise is that like, each story is going to have a black woman as the heroine. And it's going to be at a sort of critical juncture in her life. And the characters will be from age 12 to the last story I just wrote. The heroine is a 71-year-old widow. And there's going to be some themes of the English-speaking Caribbean in there as well. But I just wanted to write something that wasn't... that wouldn't be, I don't know, ghettoized as black or, you know, romance or like a Zane type of novel.
Women's fiction. You're writing women's fiction.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if, I guess it would, I don't even know what all the categories are today, what they would categorize it under. I'm just writing what I'm writing.
It's women's fiction. You're going to have to put it on the category if you want to put it on Amazon. So it's women's fiction that is older, and it's chick lit if it's younger, but chick lit is more lighthearted, and what you're writing doesn't sound like chick lit. Yeah, it sounds as deep as Katrina Pavela. So
it's not ponderous. I think some parts of it are humorous as well, but yeah, I don't know. That's something I have to figure out about the category.
Oh my God!
Oh, who's that? Are you being
nothing? No.
Is that you, Langston?
Don't even call
it a drink.
Don't even call it. Please don't call attention to that, please.
Okay, all right.
And hopefully it was as muffled as I hope it was.
No, it was not, because I heard some clear voice.
Something.
Okay, Langston. All right. Well, anyway. I feel what you're saying, Katrina, because I have a book called The Sisters, and it has it goes from their young age all the way up until they're adults. And it's an interesting story, but it does have romance undertones because of the parents. But I like that. I want to write something Zora.
No, there's sex. There's plenty of sex.
Actually, I don't have no sex in that first book. I don't want nobody.
Yeah.
I have an issue sometimes when I write characters that have like Christian values or really good moral. I don't want them to have sex, and I don't know why that is. It's kind of weird. Anyway,
my characters don't have Christian values.
Well, that's
they're all heathens.
All right, y'all. It has been real. Thank you all for tuning.
Okay, before
O'Shea Harrison, O'Shea.
Okay, look. Okay, because before I end up on the have to fix it list, y'all got to get me off of here.
All right.